is normal anyway, and why would anybody want to be it?
Cluck the claters, yeah, yeah. The lifestyle's not going anywhere. Lunchbox.
Hey y'all, it's me, the lunchbox. Today, I would like to talk about the concept of normalcy, I guess you could call it. People are very obsessed with everyone being their own definition of normal. We all have behaviors and traits that we deem to be an example of how a normal person should behave. And I think in a lot of ways it tends to be the same within, a society or a culture, but it of course varies because in some societies, eating and killing cows, that's totally fine, and in others that's sacrilege. In some societies people eat dogs and that's just what they eat, and in other societies that's just horrible, awful, evil, and it's very silly because we're all raised in different ways. So of course we're going to view what normal means through our own lens. It's obviously going to be something that's subjective. Now, there are some things that society as a whole, or at least like the majority of society, deem to be abnormal. My haircut, for example, is seen as a sign of extreme mental instability to pretty much every single person that I encounter on the street and everybody on the internet. Now, this video isn't about claters because there are Lunchables who think that my haircut is ridiculous and they mean well and they tell me, oh girl, you look so much better, why don't you go back to how you were before? I've said many times that in the past, when I looked normal or more normal than I do now, I was not happy at all. I'm not saying that I was unhappy because of how I looked in the past. It wasn't just about that, but I think that how I look now is a good indicator, for me anyway, that I am in a better mental state than I was back then, because I never would have done this in the past because I would have cared so much about what people think about me. And I don't think that that's a sign of I don't think that's a sign of mental stability, being so concerned about what others think, in the sense that you change your appearance to please them. People will say, well, you care what the claters think, you never shut up about them. I mean, I like to respond to stupid people. It's fun to me. I like to respond to what they have to say. They're entitled to their opinion and I'm entitled to mine, and that's just how that works. But anyway, I digress. The point here is just that, what does being normal mean, and is that something that people should strive for? People make a big deal about you're never going to get a job like that, blah, 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 just really inserting themselves into like someone else's life. And it's not like, I personally can't relate. I don't really care what people do for work. So that question is always just kind of like, it's boring to me. I don't really care. I don't think it says much about a person. I really don't. It's just not something I care to ask about. So that's already just really boring to me. And so I really can't imagine caring that someone won't be able to get a job. Like, am I paying their bills, are they paying mine? Like, if not, then why are we worried about that? To me, that's abnormal. There are a lot of things that people in society do every day that I think are really abnormal. I think dating is weird. I don't get it. I never saw the point in going on a bunch of dates with people that I probably already know I don't like. I can tell when I'm compatible with someone. And people would say, take the time to get to know them. And I'm like, I can tell based on the certain things that they talk about on the internet that it's not worth my time. That's just how it is for me. I don't see the point. I didn't really date, If I like you, I want to hook up with you, cool. If I feel like I like you more than just a person to hook up with, maybe we'll see where it goes. Is what it is. That's just how I am. So I just think it's strange that people force their own concept of what normal is onto other people. Like, when I insist, I'm fine, I'm happy, I love my haircut, I love my makeup, people are like refusing to believe that, because to them, this is just so impossible that someone can look like me and not be a raging serial killer psychopath or something. I've done questionable things, blah, blah, blah. Who hasn't? We've all done things we regret. We've all done crazy shit. Like, please. That's what society does, that we see someone and we put them in a box. Now, do I want to be normal? Do I want to fit in with society? No, honestly. My ideal scenario is to live in a society or a town outside of like the realm of maybe normal society, or create my own eventually, maybe like a clown community or something. I don't know. I have dreams someday, and it's a really big far-fetched dream, of creating a society or like a town essentially for people who are homeless and mentally ill and or addicted to drugs and need help. And in that town, you would be able to get the help you need. You would be given a job, so you have something to do, you're striving towards something, you would make money. If you chose to leave our little community, you could, but if you chose to grow up, have a family there, or just stay there and be there with your fellow, clowns and other types of people, you could. And to me, that's really ideal. And just a society where like there isn't so much pressure put on how you look or your behavior, as long as you're not hurting anyone, of course. And like I said, there would be, counseling for people and rehab. And I don't really fit in with society. I never have, even when I looked normal, whatever that means. I was always described as weird. I would meow in the back of my guitar class because I thought it was entertaining and fun. And I would just do things that I just felt like doing. It wasn't for attention. I really prefer to just be left alone. But like if I felt compelled to do something, I did it. I kind of have low impulse control, but I'm aware of that. And to me, that's progress, because some people have no self-awareness whatsoever. I know I've done crazy shit. I know I look a quote unquote damn fool to the average person. I get it. I still think that doesn't give them a right to mistreat me. I don't think that gives them a right to be clownophobic towards me. I don't think that just because I look weird or strange to you, that means that you have the right to disrespect me. And that goes for everybody. There are people who I think look like absolute freaks, but I would never tell them to harm themselves or anything. I can't stand furries. I personally cannot. But I don't think that they should die. I don't. I think that they should stay away from me, but that's another story. Anyway, I say all this to say that people need to stop worrying so damn much about what everybody else thinks. If someone tells you that you shouldn't get that haircut and you really want that haircut, fuck them. My mom, my grandma, a bunch of people told me I shouldn't dye my hair red, and you know what? I damn well did it anyway because I wanted to. People told me not to shave my head because I had beautiful hair. I was tired of the hair. It was dragging me down. So I shaved that shit and I felt better. People told me, bitch, you're not really gonna shave a male pattern baldness into your head. And I said, watch me, Klitsch, watch me. And I did it. Why? Because I do what I want. If you don't like it, you don't like it. And that's how everybody should live their lives, in my opinion. Fuck being normal, whatever that means. Be your own version of normal. That's how I feel about it. And don't worry about what everybody else is doing, because that is not conducive to your well-being or your mental health. I've got issues. I know. I'm working on them. Can you say the same? I just really wanted to make a video to talk about this because it makes me sad that people are so hung up on their own like bubble. It's like they live in a bubble and they feel like if you don't fit how they feel you should live, they lose it. And that would make sense if you were literally living in a bubble with everybody and you were all stuck in this tight space and you didn't want certain people near you, or you didn't want to see certain things, or you were like, ugh, gross. Of course you're gonna want to change people in your bubble. But bitch, I'm not in your bubble. Neither is Johnny down the street who has, I don't know, a peg leg. Like, just don't worry about other people. Worry about yourself. So that's my words of wisdom for today. What the fuck is normal anyway? And why would anybody want to be it? It's boring. Be your own version of normal. I'm saying that again because I really want y'all to remember that. All that matters in this life, the only opinion that matters is your own. If you're happy with yourself, if you're happy with your wardrobe, if you're happy with your life, that's all that matters. Have a class day. I'm in good spirits. Robin's gone. Had the whole house to myself. And yeah, I feel nice. Love you all. Have a great day.
Platers, claters, claters. I know that you're jealous of me.